All right, so today we're going deep on ChatGPT privacy. I mean, we all use it, it's amazing. But have you ever, stopped and wondered where do those conversations actually go?
Right. It's like a bit of a mystery, isn't it?
It is, and that's what we're going to unpack today. We've got a whole stack of articles and research. We're going to break down how it actually works and,
Yeah.
and bust some myths too, I bet.
Yeah, it's interesting. Most people, when they think about privacy and AI, it's just like, are they storing my data? But the real story is way more nuanced than that. It's about how the AI learns and how even like anonymized data plays a role.
Okay, see, now I'm already hooked. So, basics first. How does ChatGPT work, and what does that mean privacy-wise for us?
So imagine this huge GE neural network, like a massive web of connections, trained on just mountains of text and code. That's basically the brain behind it all. So when you type something in, it's not like it remembers our old chats like a person would. It's analyzing what you said right then, matching it against patterns it's learned from all that data.
So it's not my exact words it's remembering, but it's using everyone's input to get better at responding.
Exactly. It's constantly refining itself. And this is where it gets really interesting. ChatGPT, by default, is what we call stateless. It doesn't hold on to past interactions. Like, think of a calculator. You input numbers. It does its thing, gives you the answer, then forgets the numbers. Every new interaction is a fresh start.
Oh, that's a really good analogy. But I have heard people say, even if it doesn't remember the chat itself, the info still gets absorbed into its training, right?
Yeah, that's a common one, and it shows how tricky AI privacy is. Your exact chat isn't saved with your name on it, but OpenAI does use anonymized data, all combined together, from user interactions to train the model further.
So they're saying it's to make the AI better for all of us, right? But how does this anonymizing actually work? And I got to ask, what are the limits of that?
Okay, so think it this way. They take your conversation and millions of others. They strip away anything that directly identifies you, like your name, IP address, that kind of stuff. Then it all gets combined, and they look for big patterns, trends in how language is used, that sort of thing.
Okay, so they're saying it's for the greater good, making the AI better. But how foolproof is this anonymization, really? Could our data be, I don't know, de-anonymized later on as tech gets even more advanced?
That's a great question, and it's something privacy experts debate a lot. OpenAI claims they use very robust techniques. But there's always some degree of risk, right? It's theoretically possible that in the future, advancements in data analysis, even AI itself, could be used to re-identify data or connect it to other data sets and then, boom, personal info. This is where the concept of differential privacy comes in. It's basically adding a calculated amount of noise into the data, making it harder to pull out individual stuff, but still keeping the overall patterns for the AI to learn from.
Differential privacy, huh? That's new to me. Sounds like it's constantly evolving, trying to protect privacy while still pushing AI forward.
It totally is. And that tension, it's only going to increase
Mm.
as AI models get more complex and need even more data.
Okay, so we've talked about how ChatGPT itself works and the whole data anonymization thing, which is wow. But what about all those third-party apps? The ones that are now integrating ChatGPT into them. Say I'm using a budgeting app that uses it to analyze my finances. Are my transactions still safe then?
That's a huge EE question because now we're not just talking about OpenAI themselves anymore. We're talking about how a completely different company handles data.
Right, right.
So when you use ChatGPT through another platform,
It's their policies and security that matter.
exact
So it's like stepping into the unknown. Their rules might be totally different.
could be a completely different ballgame, yeah. That's why you got to be extra careful with those third-party services. Don't assume they're as strict as OpenAI. Always, and I mean always, check their privacy policies before you give them anything sensitive.
Seriously, it's way more to think about than most people realize. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Let's tackle some of the myths around ChatGPT and privacy. I've heard people say it remember everything you've ever said. Is there any truth to that?
That's a big one, and thankfully, super easy to debunk. Remember, ChatGPT is stateless by design. Think of it like a play on stage. Actors say their lines, scene ends, stage gets reset for the next one. No memory of what happened before. Each ChatGPT interaction is like a new scene, totally independent.
So it's not building some giant file on me with all my questions and stuff.
Not at all. But that leads us to another myth, kind of related. The idea that anybody can just access your ChatGPT conversations.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that one too. Some employee could just pull up my whole chat history.
Right, right. Well, while no online service is 100% safe from breaches, OpenAI does have security protocols in place. to protect user data from unauthorized access. It's important to remember no system is foolproof, though. And when you start thinking about those third-party apps, the ones using ChatGPT, the whole security thing gets even trickier.
Right, because their security might not be as good. So let's say I'm being careful, not sharing anything too personal. Can OpenAI still use my data for, like, advertising and stuff?
OpenAI says they don't use data for targeted ads or share personal info with advertisers. But it's a good chance to talk about the bigger issue here, how data shapes the online world in general.
Oh, absolutely. That's something I think about a lot.
We live in this age where data is incredibly valuable. Companies analyze our online behavior, what we buy, even our social media posts to build these detailed profiles. That affect everything from product recommendations to the content we see,
It's like they're creating a digital version of us.
reflecting back our interests, habits, you name it. And that raises questions about how this data is used, who has access to it, what it means for our choices.
Yeah, it's like this double-edged sword, right? On one hand, personalized stuff can be convenient, but then it feels like we're constantly being steered in ways we might not even realize.
Exactly. And with AI like ChatGPT becoming more common, this whole tension between convenience and control is going to get bigger.
Okay, so we've gotten into the technical side of ChatGPT privacy, debunked some myths, and even like the philosophy of data collection. But what about the future? What's next for AI and privacy?
That's the million-dollar question. Researchers, policymakers, ethicists, everyone's wrestling with it. As AI models get more advanced, they need even more data to learn.
It's like they got to be constantly fed information to grow, huh?
That's a great way to put it, and that brings up a fundamental question. How do we balance progress in AI with our right to privacy?
Doesn't seem like there's an easy answer.
Definitely not. Some people want stricter rules on data, emphasizing things like user consent and minimizing what's collected. Others say open access to data is crucial for innovation. They advocate for strong anonymization to protect privacy while AI develops.
So it's like this tug of war between individual rights and tech progress.
It is, and to navigate it, we need open discussion, collaboration, and a willingness to change as tech keeps moving so fast.
It sounds fascinating, but also kind of daunting. So what can WE do as individuals to protect our privacy in this whole AI age?
First and foremost, stay informed. The more you know about how AI works, how your data is used, the potential risks, the better decisions you can make.
Knowledge is power, right?
Absolutely. And don't be afraid to speak up for your privacy. Support organizations fighting for data rights and responsible AI. Make your voice heard. Demand transparency from companies using your data.
It's about taking control of our digital lives.
Exactly. And remember, this isn't a one-time thing. AI and data privacy are constantly evolving. So staying engaged and adapting to new challenges is key.
This deep dive has been eye-opening, really. ChatGPT privacy isn't just a tech issue, it affects us all.
Very true. And as we move further into this world of human-AI interaction, it's vital to have these conversations, raise awareness, and encourage people to think critically about the role AI plays.
Okay, we've covered a ton today, from how ChatGPT works to the future of AI and the whole philosophy of data. But before we wrap, I want to make sure our listener has some takeaways, some concrete things they can do to protect themselves while still using ChatGPT.
Let's boil it down to 3 essential tips. First, and seriously, make this your motto. Never share sensitive information with ChatGPT. Treat it like any public platform where anyone could see what you say.
Oh, like the digital version of don't talk to strangers.
Exactly. Be mindful of what you reveal. Think about the potential consequences if someone LSE saw that info.
Okay, tip 1 is all about being cautious. Got it. What about number 2?
Anonymity. Whenever you can, use anonymous sessions or pseudonyms. Create a separation between you and your ChatGPT use.
It's like putting on a disguise online to protect your real identity.
Precisely. A simple but powerful way to boost your privacy, especially when exploring sensitive topics or just trying out different writing styles.
All right, 2 great tips down. What's the final one for our listener?
Remember what we've been saying all along. Scrutinize those privacy policies. Don't just click agree without reading when using ChatGPT, or AI service for that matter. Take the time to understand how your data is being used, what rights you have, and what you can do if those rights are violated.
You've definitely made that point clear, and for good reason. It's amazing how often we just ignore those policies, even though they tell us crucial stuff about how our data is being used.
It's easy to overlook, but in the AI age, it's more important than ever to understand and actually use our data rights.
This whole deep dive has really opened my eyes. It's not just about ChatGPT, it's bigger than that.
It is, and as we move further into this AI world, It's crucial to keep having these conversations, raising awareness, encouraging critical thinking about the role we want AI to play in our lives.
Well said. Okay, we're about to wrap up this episode, but we want to leave you with a final thought, something to ponder, as you keep exploring the world of AI. So, we've talked about privacy as it is in Now of You, but what happens when AI is like everywhere? Does our whole idea of privacy even have to change?
Whoa, that's a big one. And it's going to be more and more relevant as AI gets smarter. Right now, we think of privacy as like controlling who sees our name, address, that kind of stuff. But what if AI can figure things out about us that we never actually told it?
You mean like reading between the lines, drawing conclusions from how we act online?
Exactly. Imagine an AI that looks at your browsing history, your social media, what you buy, even these ChatGPT chats, and it builds this whole profile, your personality, politics, even your emotions, all without you saying any of it.
It's like AI creating a psychological twin of us, kind of creepy.
And as AI gets better at that, where's the line? What parts of our digital selves are private then? How much guessing is okay? These are huge societal questions.
Yeah, it's almost like a new era of human AI stuff, where the lines between our inner and outer selves get blurry. Do you think our laws, even our ethics, are ready for this?
That's the debate, right? Law experts think our privacy laws now, they're all about protecting INFO. But AI can infer stuff, go beyond the info itself. We might need totally new rules, ethical principles, the whole thing, to govern how AI is used so it respects us as people.
It's a lot to take in, that's for sure. Feels like this ChatGPT chat is just the beginning, a tiny look into a future where humans and AI, it's all intertwined.
Very true. And as we go into this unknown territory, we got to have both a sense of awe and caution. AI has crazy potential, but also these huge ethical challenges.
So as we wrap up, what's the one thing you want our listener to remember?
AI is a tool like any other. It can be used for good or bad. The future of AI isn't set in stone. We're shaping it right now. With every interaction, every choice we make. By staying informed, talking about this stuff, demanding transparency, we can push AI towards a future that benefits everyone.
That's a powerful message to end on. It's been amazing exploring this whole ChatGPT privacy thing and what it means for all of us with AI becoming so central. We hope you found this insightful, thought-provoking, and most of all, that it gives you a sense of, like, agency. The future of AI is in our hands. Let's shape it wisely, ethically, and with respect for each other's privacy and dignity. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.